Traditional guided tours are being given something of a facelift with a growing number of alternative sightseeing outings on offer. Sunday morning in Paris, and a group of tourists here at the Eiffel Tower have traded in their backpacks for sweatpants and running shoes. Leia's going to give them a unique tour of the capital. Are you ready? Let's go. Notre Dame Cathedral, the Louvre Museum, the Champs-Élysées, the Trocadero. With this 11-kilometre route, day trippers can combine their love of running with a spot of culture. This is what so-called sight running is all about. It's for tourists who don't want to see Paris from a bus. They find that boring and want to be more active. Originally from Germany, Leia developed the concept in her home country before bringing it to her new home, Paris, a year ago. I've read quite a few books, seen quite a few films, and when I started thinking about setting up Sight Running Paris, I started to read a lot more. Until I got to a stage when I was like, okay, I'm ready to show people around. The Quai Branly Museum, the River Seine, Les Invalides, a brief explanation at each monument, punctuated with questions for her group. This is an interactive, participative tour. Does anyone have anything to say about the Grand Palais? The glasswork was restored recently. That's right, beautiful and brand new.
It was built for the Universal Exposition of 1900?
1900, exactly, well done. There's not always time for a breather during a sight running tour, but it's geared towards all levels of fitness. I never go running. I'm not particularly sporty, so this is a real first for me. We forget we're actually running. It's great for self-esteem. Other tours are taking alternative sightseeing to a whole new level. We head to Villeurbanne near to Lyon. Clémence shows people around this building not far from the town hall. Not many people have heard of it, despite its rich architectural quality. I'm delighted to welcome you here today, to this new neighbourhood. Construction work has just finished. They only took down the scaffolding a week ago. Here we are in 1935, and Villeurbanne now boasts one of the highest residential buildings in France. This social housing was designed for labourers in the 1930s, and Clémence gets her group to play along and pretend they are to be the new residents. The aim is to really immerse them in the history of the building and its 1,500 apartments, and bring home just how revolutionary this housing was all those years ago. Low-income households would now have access to certain mod cons previously unattainable. I'm sure you will have noticed a toilet on your way in. Can you imagine what a difference this will make? You won't have to go out onto the landing anymore. This reproduction of a 1930s home also features radiators, a telephone, hot water, and a gas cooker. We're using the imagination and sensations rather than simply narrating facts and figures. Of course, there will be facts and figures. We'll be talking about architecture, we'll be talking about urbanism, but we'll do so in a more creative way, showing visitors how people used to live. And visitors can get really involved. I'm a labourer and I worked on the construction of this building. I was wondering if I could have a reduction on my rent. Well, I can't make that kind of decision. I will have to talk to my boss. Clémence and Olivier are from an artistic background and cultural heritage enthusiasts. They've jumped up 15 or so visits like this in and around Lyon, both for adults and children, always with a trip back in time. Not everyone in the business takes us seriously. They don't think we take it seriously, but we do. But we try to have fun at the same time. Urban art can also be a fun way of discovering a new place.
You need to let the city guide you and keep your gaze upwards.
Aurélien scrutinises walls and windows across Paris, looking for street art. Together with Louis and Mathieu, he created an app cataloguing all the graffiti, tags and drawings that appear around the capital.
So I go to my application and the mapping service shows me where I am and that there are a lot of artworks nearby. If I really like it, I can also add my own photo. And if I know who the artist is, then I can share information about them. We want it to become something of a walking guide, so people can go on street art-themed visits around the capital.
Yes, you can now let your phone guide you around this open-air museum. The app was launched in 2011 and already lists over 17,000 works worldwide.
Urbacolors is a collaborative app. We have communities developing in the United States, in New York City, San Francisco, Baltimore, and also in Europe, in Frankfurt, in Italy, in Spain. We are urban planners by trade, and we felt it important to give these artists the recognition they deserve and map their works and get locals involved in the whole process.
And this extensive art gallery exhibits all an artist's works, no matter where they are. And even those that have been washed away or removed, because don't forget, street art is temporary and, generally speaking, forbidden.
There is something of a groundswell of support and promotion for street art, so some areas now see it as a way of driving development. Vitry-sur-Seine comes to mind. It's really establishing itself as the street art capital of France.
So the artworks will be protected and it will be legal to graffiti certain walls, which will no doubt become points of interest for new walking tours.